Welcome back to another episode of Under the Covers with me, 93 Acres, and today we're going to be looking at Rain by Aitch and AJ Tracey. H. Of course, he had the album H2O, which is quite clever. I like it. Try and go in depth with the beat, and we'll try and look at some of the breakdowns and talk about why certain beats go the way they do and little things you can throw into your own beats then. It's remaking it, yes, but then we can also look at why they've done certain things and how you can have the same beat over the full track, whether it be grime or any type of beat making whatsoever. Cool, let's get straight into it. I think a title is a good place to start. Title, Rain. Rain, go away. Come again another day. Blue, have a die. BPM. A lot of grime is at 140, so I'm going to start off with 140 and then we're going to have a listen, or we're going to use a metronome to find the BPM. Here we go. But 50 sounds pretty good. Let's go with that. Next, keys and chords. Sweet. Let's plug in our keyboard and go from there. The bum. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's in D flat minor. D flat minor. Cool, so it does hit some D majors. That's super trippy. Okay, there's a D major in there, and I'm pretty sure, I feel like there's an A major in there as well, just cause. We'll get there. We'll leave that there for the minute. It's just some cool chords to go to, but it's mostly just a piano melody, so D flat minor. Oh, we've got our title, BPM, keys, roughly our chords, and now let's just write out what kind of instruments we need. Instruments. Piano. And we got drums. Maybe I should like layer out what kind of drums we have. So we've got hi-hats, kick, got claps. Sweet. Okay, so I think there's a snare and a clap. So I'll call them different. So we have a riser, kick, hi-hat. Those are the drums, piano. And I think that's pretty much it. 150 BPM, we're good to go. Cool, that's all the information. Let's go from there. So let's start with the piano. I think the piano is pretty important. Steinway one from Logic isn't bad. That's for sure. Steinway is very bright. Out of interest, let's just have a listen to the Yamaha. It's a little less dead, isn't it? It has less high-end frequency, kind of that percussive. One last instrument I just after remembering. There's a lovely warm sub bass that is just holding the low A flat, and it's just keeping the warmth out. So you don't really hear it as such, but you feel it, and it just kind of brings things together. We're going to play it in the Steinway, we're going to play it in the Yamaha, and we're going to have a debate. Let's record it in. I'll record it in with the Yamaha, and then we'll see how it goes. I'm going to blame the lightweight keys for the reason all the mistakes. Here we go. I also feel like the notes come off. Bum, bum, and then the sub holds the feeling of it. So before we listen to that, let's just throw in this sub bass really quickly because it's one note, an A flat. I just realized there, seeing as we're holding an A flat sub, maybe I might have gotten the key wrong. And it's probably nice for that sub to hit each 2 bars. It kind of gives an extra bit of impact. Let's just have a listen to what it does. Yes, it comes off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just turn it. It just feels right coming off after 1 bar, doesn't it? Just feels right. It sounds like there's some sort of decay happening as well. There's just some more gaps in these notes here that just gives a bit more impact each time the keyboard hits. So let's run through that. Bum, 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 bum. I want some of these notes to hit slightly earlier. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just move them. And this one I just want maybe move forward as well. Yes. It's nice. Dissonance. Great. We're in the Yamaha, aren't we? It just kind of doesn't sound right to me. I want to make it sound darker. Can I just throw a little reverb on it? There we go. It's perfect. Sweet. Okay. We're going to leave that there for the minute. Sweet. I just want the release time to be a little bit longer on this sub. Let's have a quick listen to that. It's going to be crazy first. A little bit gentler to come off then. Infinite release. Sweet. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. Just kind of lingers, but it's still dropping out and then comes down and then dissipates. Here we go. Drums next. I'm going to start with the hi-hat because that seems like it's pretty much just it. So let's throw in our hi-hats. What I'm going to do is, just to save time, I'm going to play it in. So we've got a double hit on the down of every 2 bars. Our hi-hat maker. We sampled in our ESX24. We brought in a lovely Harlem hi-hat and we just made an instrument out of it so we can actually tune our hi-hats now. So I'm just going to cut out some low end just as a precaution. And then we're going to play in this real quick. Here we go. Okay, we got it that time. Dunzo. Sweet. All right, that's good. Let's not fix velocity. I'll tell you what. Let's not. I just want to bring down the middles. Get that real feel. Loop it across. Great. It's perfect. We can just leave it there. Sweet. There's our hi-hats. Cool. Piano. Done. Look how satisfying that is. So now we have claps. We have a clap and a snare. They hit on different beats. Let's just pick them out real quick. Sweet. So there's extra hits, but there's definitely a clap on each 3. So let's throw that in. So we're going to open up Splice because the price is right. Drums. Claps. I like this guy. So we're going to throw this clap snare on every 3. Beautiful. We'll turn them down because I keep getting my ears hurt. I'm going to actually cut them off at the end. I'm going to get my fade tool. Beautiful. We're going to fade them and we're just going to loop. So we're going to actually have another one of those claps because he does happen on other occasions. So I'll just save one of him here for a minute. I kind of want to put a bit of distortion on our piano. Sound toys. Too much? Cool. So every second bar has on the and of 1, there's a snare. 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. I like it. Let's just go for it. There's no point on the and of 1. So that's where our snare is. Let's just go and get our marquee tool. We're going to command click across and then use the beautiful command or tool and we're good to go. The reason I'm trying to EQ it is because I don't like it. So let's find something we do like. Tempting for sure. Throw in a second. We've got our marquee tool. There we go. Way better. Sweet. Can I find that? My hair is uncontrollable. I'm like a teenager again. I had this hair when I was like 18. Thank God for the headphones, kind of covers half my head. So we got 3 semi-quavers and then we got 2 quavers. Ba 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 ba. Command or. Look at this. Okay, sweet. So we have this. Oh, take Keith. That's it. Sweet. That's class. So it's like on the downbeat of the 4 and then keeps going. Sweet. Just gonna cut out some low end and then it's the Echo Boy Jr. Sound toys. Echo Boy Jr. If we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, it's half note delay. Not much feedback, but the mix is pretty loud. Yeah, there we go. All right, that riser sounds pretty good already. Yeah. Those Sound Toys bundles are just unbelievable. So we're getting there. Sounds pretty good. I think the next thing we want to do is just also have a dropout. One big thing's in pretty much all trap, rap productions, grime especially, there's going to be dropouts. So we need to make sure we have some sort of dropout. So let's put in, so we're going to put in another 8 bars. Sorry, 16, another 16 bars, and we're going to have a drop halfway through after 8 bars. So let's try that. So we're going to copy across the first half pretty much exactly the same. Even though you have repetition, there's so much you can do to keep things interesting. Let's get these white noise and risers in white noise, but I also have the cutoff point just so we can hear. So we've got a cymatics, crash cymbal swell, and they've got impacts on the downbeat. Pretty small. I might leave in the high frequencies in this version just because. Let's have a listen. Yeah, sounds a little bit like a gunshot. And then I want a smaller one as well, just to have the option. So I have an impact small and an impact big. And the only real difference is you're going to EQ them slightly differently. And then we're also going to bring down the volume as well. I just like to have that. Sometimes it's like same with the kick drum. If you want to have a big and a small kick drum, what are you going to do if you hit a kick drum hard and you hit a kick drum soft? What happens is you actually have less low end as well as less volume. And so kind of doing the same little trick here. I'm going to use a riser into each 4 bars. Cool. So you can pretty much just copy these risers across and we'll keep that just a little going the whole way, and we can take it out then if we think it sounds kind of stupid, and we'll probably take it out then of when we have a break, there'll be no sound, might work it in, and then we're just going to duplicate this big and small impact the whole way across. We have a kick that hits on the down but nothing else. Just when it comes to this transition, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 I think it's only 2 bars, so let's just bring this in 2 bars. So we're going to move this across, going to get rid of the hi-hats for those 2 bars, stop that bass for those 3 those 2 bars. So we have our break. What happens, we do have a kick on the downbeat though, so we need to watch out for that. Okay, let's put in our kick next and then we'll watch out for this break. This O kick is just serious. It's just hard hitting, sounds slightly real. I feel like this one's on the 3. Sweet. Sweet, that's it. The kick does hit on the downbeat. Cool. So what I think happens here, there's a verse there which goes between when AJ Tracey takes on the verse and then it goes back to H. I think there's no snares for a little bit. No snares or claps. There's kick. And then there's another pause for like a bar, I think. And there's one dry guy here. Let's try that. Okay, so let's run through what we have so far. So we've had, I better add this in actually. So what do we have? We started off with our, okay, so we have our sub bass, which is on first bar out of the second. We have our hi-hats, which is a pattern of semi-quavers into quavers. We have our claps on every three. We have our snare on every second bars and of one. We have our kick on the one, on the and of two, on the four, and on the and of four. And then the second bar, the two, on the and of three, and then back around. Sweet. White noise, just a riser. Big impact, small impact, same cymatics bundle, just a trap impact, get a bit downbeat. Our swell's pretty much working as a crash because we don't actually have we just have the bit of it, and we have the Yamaha piano. Great, which we've put on some stereo spread, decapitator, just give it an extra bit of beef, a bit of saturation, distortion, and a tiny bit of tape delay and reverb bus. So we put some breaks in here, so hopefully they work. Great, let's have a listen. Sweet. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that sounds pretty good. I think it sounds relatively similar. It definitely doesn't have the same impact without the vocals, but that's the beat pretty much. You can see how important it is to bring the beat in and out, little chops and changes, just little things here and there, whether it be the kick dropping out, whether it be the claps dropping out. It just keeps things interesting. All right, that's been Under the Covers with me, 93 Acres. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you all. That's been Rain by Aitch and AJ Tracey. Great tune. Bye, 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 bye.